Welcome to Urban Legends with your hosts, Smartwatch, Neil and Chris, Bluetooth speaker.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Urban Legends, the internet podcast about urban legends, and it's the largest one by volume. This week is a little bit different to normal. Unless you've been living under a fucking rock or on the far side of the moon, you'll know that here in the UK, we are gearing up. We're all very excited for a coronation of a new monarch. I am, just to introduce myself, I'm Chris Flynn, and that person doing a fantastic version of the national anthem probably was Mr.
Neil Herbert.
Hi Neil, how are you?
Stewing in my own anointing oil that I'm making here, Chris.
Really?
Ooh, yeah.
Have you got?
I won't tell you what it's made of.
You got a special spoon?
Oh yeah, mother of pearl.
The mother of pearl. So I mean, I imagine that. I mean, everyone in the UK will know this, but you know, we can give a bit more information for people around
our friends outside the
the poor unfortunate people outside of the UK.
You're unfortunate I've not been born in this tight little island.
Yeah, lovely and tight, isn't it?
Oh.
So on the day of the ceremony, there's no cars allowed in the whole of the UK.
No.
Because every single street is having a street party.
Oh yeah, it's got somewhere for the trestle tables.
And
the bunting.
There's tables put there. The king has paid for every street to have a fattened goose.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Thank you, Your Majesty. Thank you, Your Majesty.
You're going to get liquored up on your watch. Yeah.
You get a piece of goose and a cask of ale for each street. And there'll be town criers walking through the busiest of shopping precincts, giving it the ding 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 ding. Oh yay! Oh yay! The new king has been crowned. That kind of stuff. You went for the job of town crier, didn't you?
Yes.
Very much like Homer Simpson.
Yeah, surprisingly not loud and obnoxious enough. I was surprised by that, Chris.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
I'd have bettered myself for that little accolade.
Hell of a lot of competition, isn't there, at the moment?
Yeah, there is, sadly. Harder than you think.
It is harder than you think. So Neil, I've been enjoying a lot of the reporting on it, like who's going, who's not going, all that kind of stuff. But
just a bit of fun, isn't it? I like the fact that they've given us a bank holiday. That's good. I do approve of that, unironically.
The economy doesn't.
Oh yeah. Do you know, I really hate that every time he's all reading some wanky right-wing paper. It's just like, well, it's going to cost the economy 30 million.
Fuck off.
He gives a shit.
AI is going to take 30% of our jobs in the next 2 years. You probably want to be thinking about that rather than one day off.
You get one extra day off from our creasing
day off from working the fucking call centre. Do you know what I mean?
Work more fingers to the bone, Chris. I'm typing up business architecture in that office.
Yeah, that's true.
Not got particularly, physically demanding jobs. Mentally demanding, you'd say.
Yeah, mentally demanding.
Yeah.
Have I ever done a physically demanding job? I've done pub work.
I think I've worked in warehouse. Worked in warehouse.
I've worked in warehouse.
20% of the fucking milk.
Down by the docks. Pub work. Oh no, I've done painting and decorating with my uncle and stuff. I guess I have done. And I guess my more manual labour time was when I was in college, like doing part-time stuff, like working up at the dog treks in the kitchens. That was quite physically demanding.
Yeah, when I was at uni, I used to work at sort of petrol stations or warehouse or supermarkets, sort of, just during the summer to pay for the, spending money.
We're grafters, aren't we?
Well,
graft. Well, up until the point where we didn't have to graft anymore.
Yeah, I just sort of turned off.
Now
the last 20 years.
Now I'm a shirker, not a worker. I believe is what.
What were they calling it? Is I can't remember. It's just
We need-
supposedly modern phenomenon.
We need Gurkhas, not shirkers. That's what they're saying for the army.
Yeah.
Of course, for people outside the UK, the Gurkha people of Nepal have a regiment in the British Army for some reason.
They do, yeah. Which we famously then tried to not give them their pensions. Our Lady Giovanni, because we're so respectful of their war. I mean, I'm not particularly militaristic, but it's like, yeah, Joanna Lumley had a whole campaign, didn't she?
Yeah,
about
she
that?
did.
Fair play to her. Yeah.
Yeah. So Neil,
Quite right too. Anyway,
so there's a lot of pomp and ceremony.
There's a lot of pomp and circumstance. That's what we like in this country.
But
Fucking love it, Chris.
Oi,
Oi, oi.
oi, 2 World Wars.
Them jewels on your crown better have been stolen from different countries.
From India, yeah. But I found out about quite an interesting one, and I'm not sure if it's true or not, but I'd like to take you through it, Neil.
I imagine it is.
So,
fun facts.
Fun
facts with urban legends.
Fun facts with urban legends after dark. We've both been ill, so we're recording this on the night before it's actually being released. So this is a quick turnaround.
Yeah, this is a real kind of like Danger Zone podcast. We don't know how it's going to turn out. But, you'll get an hour of something.
I had the coronavirus, and Neil had rotten guts.
Yes. Not for the first time, and I suspect not for
the last time. Not when your primary shopping vicinity is a petrol station.
Yeah, but
So on the morning of the coronation, Prince, soon to be King Charles, I think he is king now. King Charles.
He is king. Yeah, I don't know these. Yeah.
The Archbishop of Banterbury, and was it Justin Welby?
Justin Welby, that's correct. Yeah.
The Right Honourable, probably. I don't know. That's a judge.
No, that's the politician, I believe, isn't it? Parliament.
Fuck knows.
And increasingly few of them are actually fucking honourable, but there you go.
The Order of the Garter and whoever the current Prime Minister is, they go.
Is this a 3 men walked into a pub joke?
No, I wish.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I wish.
Right, okay.
That would have a payoff at the end.
Brilliant. Oh, that's good.
So the Order of the Garter, Prime Minister Justin Welby, Justin Wellard, and Charlie Boy.
And the King, yeah. Chaz.
Chaz3. Chaz2. Right. There's
Chaz cubed.
Chaz 3D.
Yeah.
So underneath Westminster Abbey, there is a secret, like, crypt room kind of thing.
Makes sense.
And it's been there for about 1,000 years.
Yeah.
And since
William the Conqueror put it in.
But they go under there and they do secret rituals and rites to appease the old gods of England.
Oh.
Interesting. And do you know, so what that's for is the House of Hanover, which is now the House of Windsor, they have for 1,000 years been haunted by a spirit called Nichtbar, with the night bear. And it's because back in Germany, they hunted in Hanover, they hunted bears to
Bavarian forests and stuff.
Yeah, they hunted bears to extinction in that area. Yeah. And it's said that so the legend goes that they have that basically a black bear will appear to them as a portent of death and will take their spirit into the nether regions. And that's why there was all that stuff about Paddington Bear and the Queen, because which was kind of weird because they CGI Paddington Bear, but it was a portent of her death. And that's why there was all those postcards of him leaving her. And that's also why like the guards with the big hats, that's why the hats are bear skin to try and warn the bear spirit off. It's interesting, isn't it, Neil?
That is, yeah, because a marmalade sandwich is a signifier of death, of course, isn't it? That's the bitter, bitter taste.
The bitter taste of death, yeah. Well, actually, because...
but also slightly sweet.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, it didn't. But marmalade juice, they didn't used to use sugar, did they? And it was because the reason why they use marmalade sandwiches. It's because the King of Seville, back in the 10th century, kidnapped one of the King of Hanover's daughters.
Yeah.
Yep. So that all adds up, doesn't it? It's interesting, though. I didn't know that, Neil.
No, that is a fascinating fact, Chris. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Should we tell them about the controversy for you and I, because we won't be able to enjoy Coronation as much as other people, will we? Because as descendants of Irish people,
yes.
we're actually under curfew from 9 p.m. on the Friday until 9 a.m. on the Monday, and it goes back to the previous coronations because Ireland, England, England was oppressing Ireland, and Irish freedom fighters were trying to have a free Ireland, and it was actually brought up if they were going to leave it in or not. They brought it up to Richie Sunak. It was asked in Parliament, wasn't it? And what was it he said? He said, "This is no time to take our foot off the gas," or something.
I believe it was something like that. Yeah.
This is no time to drop our guard, I think. So, yeah, anyone of Irish said we're not allowed at street parties or anything in case, I don't know, in case.
Well, we might start preventing a bit of rebellion or something, mightn't we?
Yeah, a bit of rebellion, something like that.
Be careful about that. Especially because, on a Friday, all you've eaten is fish. That stokes my ire.
Oh, yeah. Not good to drink on a fish-only diet, is it?
No.
Just pickles in the stomach.
Yeah, battered fish and 20 pints of Guinness.
No. Fuck knows how they produce so many kids. Thinking of fish and Guinness. Not much to do. So, Neil, what are we...
Thinking of that Monty Python, was it every sperm is sacred? Anyway.
All right, yeah. So you've looked up some shit.
Well, I have looked up some shit. Literally, it's just absolute shit.
So are these legends, that kind of thing?
Well, it kind of...
Myths, conspiracies.
Conspiracy theories. So I had a look,
So I can... So off the top of my head, may I just...
Yeah, do you want to guess some of the ones I'm going to... There's 32. I'm not going to go through all of them unless we really, run out of things to say.
Yeah, okay.
As we said, listeners, this is a late one, so, we're going to try and eke an hour out of this, frankly.
If you're looking at the listicle I looked at earlier, loads of them are double. Just a warning.
This is the Harper's Bazaar, and there's a load that just fucking repeats itself. So I'm going to cut this down massively. There's 4, really, I think. I'm going to 3 main ones and then one ancillary one.
The ones we all know of. Yeah. So there's the one that's proven, which is lizards, aliens, Illuminati. Right? The family are.
Lizards, we'll be on that one.
There's the one which has been disproved.
We'll be seeing what Mr. Wright's got to say about that, don't worry.
There's been the one which has been disproven via the gift of time, which was that Harry wasn't Charles's son, but he's looking increasingly like him with every passing moment, it seems. Yeah,
that one we will. That one we will be covering as well. Yeah, well done.
And
it's not hard to get these, I'll be honest. But yeah, we'll see if we can get the 4th. Actually, I will be.
They bumped off Diana because she was pregnant with Dodie Fayad's kid.
I mean, obviously, I'm going to go to that one. Can you? I mean, that's the 3 juicy ones. I think we'll touch on some of the other ones.
Elizabeth I was a bloke.
Not that interesting.
No, but I think that is one.
No, there is. There's a load about Elizabeth. So, and again, we'll touch it. Bloke wasn't a virgin. I mean, that's probably fairly. That's not exactly that big of a. Probably true.
Why talk? Stop talking. Do you know something toxic? Stop talking about the Queen's virginity. The thing is, people talk about the paparazzi these days. I mean, they've been doing it for 600-700 years.
Well, yeah, and it's just I mean, well, it may not be true. Who knows? But because obviously,
Lizzie,
she never.
Oi, Lizzie, London Herald. Are you still a virgin?
Well, but yeah, that's the thing is because you couldn't exactly do it like that, could you? A bit of a rumour mongering because you were liable to get your head chopped off in those days pretty easily.
I don't know if you've heard, but in the corridors of power, there is a rumour going around that the Queen is still yet to have her underwear. But you didn't hear it from me.
No, Gloucester's been up a Quinny or whatever. Yeah, that'd be
nice.
Or Quim or whatever those amusing medieval phrases that they use.
She has not yet had a prick in the Quim.
I mean, Shakespeare does do some of those kind of like knob jokes, but
Yeah, it's for the people.
Well,
Isn't it?
high class, isn't it? Yeah.
He got the thing like Shakespeare stuff. It wasn't. It was at the time. It was just for anyone. Like it
Well,
wasn't.
he considered his sonnets were his posterity, but the plays were just knocking them out for a bit of money. Really,
Yeah.
it turns out he had a bit of talent, the lad. So
Where he was constantly trying to make sweet love to the Earl of Somerset.
Yeah, I mean, he was kind of like the Prince of Elizabethan or Jacobean drama, wasn't he?
He was like the Prince of Jacobean. Well, because he wore the purple.
As in
and
Prince
the ruff.
Yeah. Prince Charles. Yeah. Yeah, actually, I think Prince would do up quite nicely in some medieval.
I'm sure. Or
Elizabethan.
I'm sure you can find a picture.
I'm sure there must be. Yeah.
Must be. Probably had a Tudor room.
He's probably got about 3 albums covering that. More if you can get into the archives.
Get into the archives, and he actually has an album about every single English king since Edward the Confessor. And each more erotic than the last.
Wouldn't bat an eyelid. Wouldn't be anyway surprised. And there'd be some classics on there as well, I suspect. So we're going to cover those. Can you guess there's a load on Elizabeth I I probably won't be going too much for the historical ones. See whether or not we've got some time. Yeah, and in fact, there was one about Elizabeth I writing Shakespeare plays.
Yeah.
Of course, he was just an ignorant son of a glove maker, Chris. He wouldn't have known how to write any poetry or nothing.
The working class haven't ever had any sort of creativity, have they?
Despite the fact that he's kind of like, he actually had a reasonably good education. And anyway, we won't get into all those. That's a conspiracy theory for another time.
Yeah, but maybe not.
Or maybe not. Probably a bit boring, isn't it?
Yeah.
We could talk about that shitty film that crappy German director made. But anyway, I don't know. No, it's just the Oxfordians and stuff really annoy me, especially the ones who are kind of like dined out on being Shakespearean actors for fucking decades.
Oh right, yeah.
Like Vanessa Redgrave and fucking what's that one? Derek Jacobi.
Derek Jacobi.
But we won't get again.
I was. Do you know what's his name? Ian McKellen's best mate, Patrick Stewart.
Stewart, yeah.
He was.
We went to see them in a play.
We have
Magneto and Picard or whatever.
Jean-Luc Picard, yeah, Magneto.
They were very good. I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast before, but yeah.
He was saying that because he didn't really he was like, no, just the stage, like that kind of artiness. But because he didn't really want to do Star Trek Next Generation. It's like, he'd done bits and bobs of TV in the UK, like he was in Clavdivs and that kind of stuff.
Well, to be fair,
but he'd have
seen Shatner, do you know what I mean? And he probably thought, reasonably,
he didn't want to do anything like that. Yeah. But he kind of.
They showed him how much he'd get paid, and he was like, "Oh."
No, he did it, and like all the other actors were saying that because he was so professional, it kind of raised their performance and stuff, which kind of made it good. But it wasn't that massive after the first series, but he had signed like a 7-series deal for the money, but also because he thought it'd just get cancelled because he thought it was shit.
Yeah, get a nice payout.
And he was saying that he remembers he was sitting there on a break between takes and realised that in that time frame he earned as much money as he would do doing 10 weeks, 2 showings a night of doing a Shakespeare thing in London. Like, just the money's ridiculously different.
Yeah. That's why Hollywood's full of classically trained English actors.
Well, that's what we're trying to get into Hollywood, isn't it?
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not good or classically trained. But hey.
Yeah, but neither's Vinnie Jones. Neither's Jason Statham. He's not classically trained. He's a classically trained diver.
He was a diver, wasn't he? He was Olympic. Was he an Olympic diver? I know he was a professional diver. I don't know if he was Olympic.
He was an Olympic.
I feel like he was.
Yeah, I don't know that he. Yeah, he wasn't.
I don't think he won a medal or nothing. But...
he wasn't placing. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So if anyone in Hollywood's listening, I know we've got some listeners in LA. You could make us bad guys in a Tom Daly movie, kick off, because he's a professional diver as well, and he's won gold medals. Yeah, I believe. So he'd have him as the action. And he's a gay icon, so you could get all the pink pounds. Yeah, he could beat us up. No problem.
Let's face it, most action movies are incredibly homoerotic. So
Yeah. Oh,
Nothing wrong with that.
if you need someone to play a role as maybe like a dock worker or a 1930s tough, I've certainly got the physicality for that. So
Yeah, I could be.
I'm just
Guy
saying.
sitting on a bar stool chewing on a cigar.
Yeah, perfect. I'm just saying that.
Got no work for you.
I'm just saying I'm available and I'm very competitively priced.
Yeah.
So, Neil.
We're non-union. Just think about that.
Yeah, fuck that. I'll write it.
Well,
I don't care.
Yeah, we'll do what we'll multitask. We'll scab. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah, we'll write our own parts.
We'll sign off all of the DVD rights. We don't need per diems. Just buy us a macadie or something for lunch.
Beautiful. Fine. Yeah, just trying to raise our profile,
or
really.
Patty sandwich or something. Yeah,
just trying to raise the profile of the podcast.
Yeah, it's just we've gotten to that point now where we're just going to start begging. Nearly episode 100. Right. Anyway, so episode 4. The fourth one, which I don't.
What? Why are you starting on the fourth one? No, none of this makes sense. No. Have you got Coronation brain? Are you so excited?
So you guessed? Yeah, I am. You let English people think about scones and bunting. He doesn't know where he is. He's just it's like a psychedelic.
Are you feeling a bit faint because you had a Union Jack full body tattoo earlier?
Yeah, that, and then I followed it up. It was silly, really. I had a pin. And then a Coronation chicken sandwich, and they're quite spicy, Chris. That overwhelmed my palate.
Especially from the petrol station.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think there might have been something a bit off about it.
Room temperature?
Yeah.
Lovely.
Oh, well, warm.
Warm.
Yeah.
Was it Coronation style chicken? I don't know.
Yeah, anyway. all in inverted commas.
Yeah, it's probably just some kind of insect protein from Klaus Schwab. 15-minute cities.
They're fine by me. Yes, the one you didn't guess. So you guessed 3 that I was going to do. The fourth one you didn't guess.
You can still do them.
Yeah, no. Okay. Prince Charles is a vampire.
Oh, right, yeah.
And that's how we'll start because he's our Majesty, our beloved King. He's getting coroned on Saturday.
Chaz Trois.
Yep, Chaz Kids. He's
Chaz.
Yeah. Chazzle.
Triple C.
Yeah. So let's start there.
DK3.
You got any more?
Nope.
We may return to this later.
Yes, 100%.
I've run out of fuel, so we're gonna move on to Prince Charles the Vampire first. I think because the other ones are a bit more meaty. This is just a little amuse-bouche. Think of this like
it's a little soup de jour,
like that awful quiche that they've recommended. Everyone's losing their heads over. What? Did you not say this? The royal recipe is this. It's a quiche with like spinach and broad beans. I mean, in fairness, what they've done is they've asked the chef to put something together, and he seems to have offended everyone because he's like, it all seems a bit bland and tasteless.
Right.
And everyone's like, and he put like, lard in the pastry, and then people are like, oh, well, why can't it be vegetarian if you're going to put broad beans? Anyway, everyone just had a good old fucking moan about that.
So it's like a spinach quiche with some broad beans on the top.
No, all baked in with eggs.
That sounds shit.
One I would definitely avoid. In fairness, I think they were trying to come up with something that was cost effective. So,
turnips instead of eggs.
Which, when we're spunking away several millions on a Coronation, probably not the time for penury.
Oh, I'll tell you what. Like I worked out the other day how much, because the prices have gone up with everything. Like how much I'm just on my. Have
you seen the price of Swan these days, Chris? It's ridiculous.
Outrageous.
I can barely buy a brace.
What are you to have for your 11s?
Well, exactly.
Oh, dear. It'll be relay for me from now on. I worked out kind of like with bills, so gas, electric, water, council tax, TV licence, internet, and roof over my head. That I'm paying out now 60 quid a day. So we are kind of getting into moving into a hotel territory.
Well, this is what I said, so I reckon you get into an easy hotel for that.
Oh, there were. Oh, yeah, definitely. I just me and my 2 cats in one of those Japanese-style pod totems.
Yeah.
With the cat litter in the corner.
Free slippers, they'd be fine.
Yeah, bring a lady back.
Yeah.
Fortunately,
Make some new friends.
Fortunately, that's never a concern. Yeah, it'd be good. Cats fighting all the time. But yeah, it's got 60 quid a day. That's cheaper just to be on. It's cheaper just to be on holiday all the time.
Well, your digital nomads got it right, haven't they?
Yeah.
So figure out how you get on them. Anyway, so Prince Charles the Vampire.
Oh yeah.
Without discussing whether or not vampires are real, so these are all from Harper's Bazaar, by the way. Oh yeah, we've covered vampires, haven't we? With the last one? Yeah, Count Saint-Germain or Saint-Germain. Without discussing whether or not vampires are real, New Idea reported that Prince Charles is distantly related to Vlad the Impaler, the Romanian prince who inspired Bram Stoker's Dracula. The publication purported one of the reasons this theory carries weight is because the disease porphyria is present among the royals. Porphyria is an iron deficiency disease that makes skin sensitive to sunlight. Wait, what? And that's it. That's their entire bit about that. So yeah, I think there is porphyria. I mean, the royals were quite inbred up until the last sort of 40 years.
Shut your mouth. They're naturally that good looking.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into this with the lizards and stuff, won't we?
Yeah,
we don't know if you've seen that guy who was the last sort of, well, one of the last of the Habsburg Empire.
Yeah, he didn't have a chin. Like, literally, he didn't have a bottom jawbone.
Yeah, he was. It was very unfortunate.
3 legs.
Yeah,
3 legs, 5 arses. No spine. Basically, like a blobfish.
Yeah, he was an invertebrate. Yeah, that's,
But he had a really cool rainbow effect Mohican. So he did what he could.
And roundabouts.
Did what he could.
Made the most of it.
Yeah, why not, eh?
Well, that's the thing as well, because it's like, well, Vlad the Impaler wasn't actually a vampire. I mean, I know he inspired Dracula, but...
he wasn't a vampire.
He wasn't a vampire. Right.
I don't know how closely tied in...
That's stupid.
So I know that the houses of Western Europe were very tied in, and sort of Russia. But I don't know how tied in they were to that area of Europe. Do you know what I mean? Like sort of Romania and Hungary. So I'm not sure that because they were different faiths.
Yes, yeah.
So that would have been a problem.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, no, I'm not convinced. I mean, yeah, as you say, there was kind of like in between. I mean, didn't sort of First World War famously there was like the feuding families, the sort of Germans, the Russians, and the British. When
Vlad the Impaler was kicking around, that was when the Ottoman Empire, because that was who he was fighting, wasn't it? The
Ottoman Empire was still going strong until
World War
the 20th century. Yeah. Well, I say going strong. There's a lot
on its arse.
Yeah, on its uppers at that point. But yeah, they were around for donkey's years. But
that's kind of what he was famous. He was famous for fighting the Ottomans.
Yes. Had an interesting approach to diplomacy. Put it like that.
Some people won't listen.
Take no for an answer,
What's going to be? What are you going to do? Impale them.
An old Leonidas.
Bet you wish you'd come to the table now, don't you?
Yeah.
Now you've got to spike up your gypsy.
I can't do the crime. Can't do the impaling. Don't do the invading.
Yeah, lovely. Perfect.
There you go. Rhymes must be true.
Yeah, if you can't take the impaling, don't do the invading. That's brilliant. I'm having that tattooed.
Yes.
Next to that Hayao Miyazaki character that I've got on my arm, full sleeve.
Beautiful.
Okay, so the idea is, is it just that, or is there other? I mean, I know that.
So there's 32 of these, but I'm gonna sort of I'm drawing from this well of bullshit, but I'm gonna sort of head off elsewhere because they sort of point toward. So should we start?
That there's within QAnon and that kind of shit. There's bloods drinking and that kind of.
You mean
stuff.
that rigorously researched?
What Q, the world's greatest ever hero?
Yeah.
Combination
between Sherlock Holmes, Iron Man, and I don't know.
Elon Musk.
Yeah. Whatever. Well, Elon Musk, as we know, Elon Musk is the real Iron Man. But
he is a real Iron Man, and also the future king of Mars.
Yeah.
God, I mean, like, just let him have it if he'll fuck off. But so I know that QAnon, there's meant to be sort of vampiric stuff in some quarters of it, the more outrageous bits. I mean, the weird thing with it is it just absorbs every other conspiracy. But,
well, you just throw a load of old bullshit in anything that vaguely corresponds to reality, then.
But I'm pretty sure that the royal family are implicated as being part of the sort of the shadow people who drink blood and paedophiles and that.
Yeah.
Obviously, there are some paedophiles in the royal family, you know, but
hiding in plain sight. Yeah.
No problem with that part of it, but it's the blood drinking.
Well, you know, what's going
on? Come on then, Neil. What are you looking up? Some more stuff about?
No. I've got three. So that was the one. I won't. You know.
Continue.
So the vampire one. No. I won't say anything else about our beloved king because you know that'd be disrespectful. So let's get on to. I'm just thinking which go first. Well, let's go for the lizard one next.
Oh, David Icke.
We'll be visiting one of my favourite newspapers, Chris. You know, renowned for its accuracy.
Weekly World News.
Daily Express.
Express.
Possibly on a par or worse
than Weekly World News.
Yeah. I mean, you can technically buy it from a newsstand, but it really is absolute fucking. I mean, it costs about 3p these days, doesn't it?
King Charles revealed to be Bat Boy at Coronation.
Well, no. So this is from 2017. This is David Icke explains his infamous theory why Queen is a shape-shifting reptile.
Alien.
Well, they're supposed to be from Draco, aren't they, or something?
The Draco system.
Yeah, or the Draco system, yeah, wherever that is. So
it's in the sky.
Conspiracy theory king, see what they've done there? David Icke has spoken at length about why he believes Queen of England is actually a shape-shifting reptilian lizard. So let's dive into this. This sounds good.
He's the king of all our hearts.
He is, yeah. You know, was he an ex-Portsmouth goalkeeper or something?
Ex-Portsmouth goalkeeper and sports presenter on the BBC,
yes. Yeah, it was because he kind of like he revealed himself, shall we say, on the Terry Wogan show, wasn't it?
Some would say he may have pivoted from sports presenter.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, if you're going to come out as the son of Jesus, probably do that to a sarcastic Irish presenter like Terry Wogan. I think that's going to go spectacularly well.
Oh, the son of Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, why not? Right. The former BBC grandstand.
Well, I'll be honest with you, you look no like him.
Up on that cruster. Right. He famously came out as a major conspiracy theorist during an interview with the late Terry Wogan in 91.
Terry Wogan.
Was interviewed by Channel New World Order TV. Which TV station do you think carries that, Chris?
What, Channel New World Order?
Yeah.
What is it?
So he's interviewed by Channel New World Order. It's a YouTube channel, basically.
Oh, okay. Yeah. When you say what station carries it, I wouldn't consider YouTube a station.
No,
anyway.
I was being silly.
I was going to say history too, but
again, kind of, much like the Express, albeit supposedly a proper paper, it kind of is in that same kind of territory. But in it, he cemented his. I mean, do you imagine the History Channel used to actually have history and shit in it? It's all just like ancient aliens and stuff now.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Hey, you got to go where the money is, Chris. In it, he cemented his claims that the British royal family descended from a reptilian bloodline.
I'll tell you what, Neil, there's some strange goings on at Skinwalker Ranch.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Well, how do you explain all of these shenanigans? That's what I'm going to be asking myself. So he subscribes to the... Sorry, go on.
That's all right. I was just talking about History Channel. I resubscribed to it when I was bored.
Which one was that? The History Channel?
Yeah. The Curse of Skinwalker Ranch. I've just been watching that.
Oh, beautiful!
Lovely.
I think I told you I'm signed up for 6 months of Discovery.
Yeah, so you need. Oh, is it Discovery you've got?
I think it's Discovery. Yeah, I haven't got the channel.
It's a bit mainstream for me.
I think you can get Three Angels Broadcasting Network on YouTube as well, so we can have a shifty at that at some point.
Lovely.
Some biblical conspiracy.
Yeah, as I've said before, History Channel 2 is the Three Angels Network for atheists.
Yeah.
Sorry. So,
No, that's fine. So he subscribes to the
Ikey boy.
Ikey. He subscribes to the Illuminati conspiracy theory that a secret society made up of royals, political and business leaders actually pull the strings of the world, seemingly democratic governments from behind the scenes. So there you go. I mean, so far so reasonable.
Normal. Yeah.
Yeah. But he adds to this that members of the Illuminati, including all world royal families and high-powered business and political families, are the descendants of ancient hybrids of reptilian aliens and humans.
Beautiful. So what about, right? So say someone like Bill Gates.
Yeah.
So he's from, an upper middle class family. Right. So he got to go to a good school and stuff, right? He's not rags to riches, but they weren't like a dynasty of business people going back. And obviously him doing Microsoft and stuff, then he became the richest person in the world. So like, where's the alien intervention there? Because it's not like he's from a family of industrialists going back to the dawn of time.
What's happened here, Chris, is you started to ask rational questions, but I can't get there.
Right.
We're going to have to go back into the lunacy. I mean,
was his mum made pregnant?
This is the thing. Did he hatch from an egg? Did he hatch from an egg from a lizard lad? They swapped him out at birth, like in The Omen, or or it may be he's being controlled by the Illuminati. I'm sure there's various theories that
Are you scared of the Illuminati now?
Not really.
No, me neither. There's only one thing I'm scared of. Mermen.
Well, anyone would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, an 18th century Bavarian secret society that's sort of wrapped up in the 18th century.
Oh, yeah. I know the history of the actual Illuminati.
Yeah.
I don't know that it was all brought back in by that guy with Operation Mindfuck in New Orleans in the 60s, and that's where the conspiracies all spun out of there. By a mentally ill guy on a lot of acid, who was doing it on purpose to show how conspiracies could, he had some sort of weird reasoning behind what he was doing, but it's easily traceable. That's the thing with the Illuminati stuff.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So does he genuinely believe in the theory? He said, "Oh God, yes. I didn't sit in a dark room and come up with this theory or go looking for it. I've travelled into 50 countries to research it."
Didn't sit in a dark room. My head was splitting headache. Coming up with a whole book full of this.
Maybe go down the library.
Blind and behind the eyes.
He said people all over the globe have provided the same evidence to back up the theory, including CIA insiders. He said it took the form of meeting people who could have experienced of seeing people often in positions of power change from human to a reptilian form and back again in front of their eyes. Why do you think they do that? Do you reckon it's like blinking? They can only last so long without going reptile.
Yeah,
or they just do it to taunt. They're like the Normans
clenching your ass cheeks.
Yeah.
Tired.
Oh, sorry. It's like you have a heavy meal, you got to loosen your belt or something. Oh, God. Going back to reptilian form.
But maybe they're just cheeky. They're like chat, switcheroo, wink, wink, switch back.
Yeah, but you don't believe your eyes. I mean, there is apparently texts that do go back on some of this stuff, but these aren't just theories that David Icke came up with. The whole reptilian thing, it does go back kind of quite a long time. But then he claims
there's some First Nation, Native American stuff about there being lizard men that live in caves. But I mean, again, it's not...
They're probably in was it Mount Chester as well, aren't they?
There's loads of them in Mount Chester, of course there is.
Yeah.
But again, it's not... I mean, serpents in the Bible, snakes seem to have or lizards seem to have some sort of significance to humans.
You're channeling David Icke here. He said, look at ancient texts in the Bible. Do you remember the snake in the Garden of Eden was really a snake?
Well, do you think
some sort of fucking idiot?
Do you think it was Charles Cubed?
Well, then he goes on to say, In texts around the world, you'll find these recurring in Garden of Eden situations involving reptilian entities. The Hebrew name for snake means two-legged, standing upright humanoid reptile, apparently.
Does
Now,
it?
David Icke, you're lucky
Does
I
it?
can't be fucked to look up the etymology of that word, because I kind of doubt it. That sounds like a lot of bullshit to me. But
And the
yeah.
Abyssinian
Don't
word
know.
for snake is David Icke is correct by his book.
Yeah.
David,
Yeah,
and the Babylonian word for snake is David Icke is Jesus' thumb.
Yeah. In the Chinese Empire, they claim the right to be the emperor because they're descended from the serpent god. That's where
That
the
is
myth of
true.
Jade comes from.
True.
See, it starts adding up now, isn't it?
Nope.
Nope.
Yes, sorry. Yes.
Apparently, the head of the state in the UK is only the head of state because of genetics or bloodline, except when we replace them every once in a while.
Yeah.
You know, you were talking about Hanoverians earlier. You know, it's because we
Yep.
decided actually we probably didn't want a Catholic in the lineage, so we'll go and get some bloke from Holland instead.
Yeah, we've changed
Replace him.
the family in charge has
I'm
changed.
sure there's some kind of relation between the two, but it'd be a lot more.
Yeah.
This whole myth of direct fucking lineage is.
I mean, he
Yeah.
must be furious that the computer game Assassin's Creed stole all his ideas.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I still haven't bothered.
Where's Ike? Where's Ike's slice of that
Yeah,
pie?
where's my taste? Well, the reptilian game designers are. You know, all the French are going to be reptiles, aren't they, as well?
Well, apparently Klaus Schwab's trying to get us to not have any cash and all just use Ubi bucks. So
Wow. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm gonna elide over the rest actually because he fucking rants on for about 5 hours.
I want to hear
Look
it.
at
Come on. No, this is the only good bit.
In order to maintain control, I claim the hybrids had to spread their bloodlines into top political and business families across the globe. But it answers your
Lizard
question about
love.
Microsoft.
Mm.
So he was asked where the reptilians originated from and said it was in space from outside the human frequency, the range of visible light.
Oh, okay.
There's a sentence that makes absolutely no fucking sense.
They live on the infrared spectrum. Whatever.
Outside the human frequency. Okay.
Yeah, well, we can't see infrared.
Well, no, that's true.
Yeah.
When he was also asked why.
That's why. That's just in case they break in. That's why I've obviously got foil over all my windows, and I've just got black lights, just so I can see them if they turn up.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Or any predators.
Yep. And in no way is it affecting my mental health.
No, absolutely not. Got a few more blacklight posters up there, Chris. Nice.
It's just a David Soul, yeah.
Or those what do they call those ones? They painting on like black velvet.
Oh, don't know, but it's gorgeous.
Oh, they are gorgeous.
Oh, gorgeous.
All vivid. They have some like
pictures.
Elvis picture.
Yeah,
of
Elvis.
nice
Elvis.
bit of black velvet. Oh, beautiful.
I seem to remember. So I'm
good likeness. That
I seem to remember I had a friend when I was a kid, like from when I was born till he moved to one town and we moved to another because we lived in a similar area and we both moved to different areas. We kind of lost touch in our sort of mid-teens, like 14 or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm back in contact with him. We're going to meet up in a couple of weekends.
That's cool.
Weird after 26 years. But his mum and dad really, I think it might have been his dad, really liked Elvis.
Okay, yeah.
He's an Indian fella called Alan, sorry. Smoked a pipe. Wonderful.
Nice.
And so Christian's middle name, who's the guy I'm friends with, is Aaron because that was
Elvis's middle name.
And they used to have one of those felt Elvis pictures in the kitchen.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, the 80s.
Nice.
Yeah, sorry, it's a bit rambly, but fuck it.
No, why not? Hey.
No more so than Ike.
All in the game.
It is all in the game. You can't hate the player.
Yeah. Well, you're playing by the rules.
Don't hate the podder, hate the format.
Yeah. So, why? So then they ask him, well, why don't you get, why don't they wipe you out if you're spilling all the beans on this?
Yeah, tough guy.
And again, he just kind of rants lunacies. Don't get caught in the idea they're all powerful. If they were all powerful, they would have taken over a long time ago. But there's an illumina of interbreeding families.
Look, the one thing that I must make clear is they're not all that.
They do run the entire world
Yeah,
and have mastered intergalactic travel or whatever.
yeah, but they got glass chins.
Yeah, I could fucking have her. Don't worry about it.
I used to be a goalkeeper for Portsmouth. John Fashanu once broke 17 of my ribs scoring a goal.
Oh. Bash the bash.
They haven't come at me because they know I'll spark them.
Yeah,
They're very good at business and manipulation. They're not good at fighting.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to run an industry, they're all right. You want a square go, not looking too fucking tasty.
Want to take it to the cobbles? No chance.
That's why the Queen's never done WWF or whatever. No, I was thinking, what's the
she was offered
cage fighting? Yeah.
Yeah, the Queen. Yeah, the Queen. There was rumours of her joining cage fighting.
Yeah. Well, that's when she'd assume lizard form, presumably. Yeah, and he doesn't care if people believe it. He's not interested in winning popularity contests.
Thank God.
Yeah, just as well, Mr. Right. I mean, so there you go. I mean,
he is quite popular within a certain section of society.
I mean, considering what he's coming out with, he's doing all right. I imagine, traveling between the travel lodges around the world with his little suitcase.
Would you like to meet him? Like to try and get a sense of if he does believe it?
So, you used to know this guy. I won't name him. He's a nice chap, actually, but he'd be the kind of person where.
Do I know him?
I don't. I think you might have met him down the pub. He came over and said hello, and I might have introduced him.
Oh.
You don't know him, but he could talk about. He's one of those people where you could sort of. I think because he spent too much time online or whatever, you'd have a conversation, and then 40 minutes later, you ain't got a word in edgeways because they've just been going on about Russian animation or something.
Right.
Some of which interesting, but some of it just kind of
steamroll a bit.
Maybe you need to get out a little bit more. I imagine it'd be like that with David Icke. Do you know what I mean? Little go a long way.
Oh, right. You think he'd just bang on?
Yeah, I don't think you'd be interested in what you got to say.
That salad
thing. To go on about, yeah. You make a joke, and it's like, well, do you think this shit is funny?
You think this is funny?
You think it's a fucking joke? Lizard's taking over the world, mate. You don't give a fuck, do you?
No, not really, mate. To be honest,
3 days to save the world.
They can make it run a bit better.
Yeah, give him a chance.
Yeah, exactly. Why not?
I mean, I will say that much. He didn't really have a lot of evidence. I'll say that, and he didn't really, not a lot of evidence.
Who, this guy who you
tied to the Queen?
Oh, right. You mean David?
Oh, no, I'm just saying David Icke. No, I'm saying would I like to meet him? And I was just sort of probably didn't explain that very well.
Well, I'd just like to get a sense of if he believes it or not.
I think he genuinely does.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think you're making. I mean, I suppose you've got the likes of Alex, because Alex Jones, you can see that he's making plenty of money out of this. I don't. Not with David
Icke's made plenty. He's made a few million. So.
You reckon? Yeah.
Yeah, no, he has. Yeah, like his book sales and doing talks and stuff. Yeah, gets paid quite handsomely on the alternative reality circuit.
Oh, fair enough. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Oh, well.
But yeah, but he's always all that. He's never sort of trying to sell intelligence pills or whatever, or going from
No, but then that wasn't an option back then because the internet wasn't really about. Do you know what I mean? He did book sales and got on interviews as a bit of a nut, and then because of his book sales and that kind of stuff, then when conspiracies properly kicked off, then he was kind of well in demand, he was like an early adopter, I guess, of conspiracy nonsense. So
he's
like a godfather to the movement, sort of thing.
Yeah, well, he's one as well that there's a lot of conspiracy theories consider a conspiracy that he's making it up to make them look ridiculous. That's one of the conspiracy theories that goes around.
Wow, I mean, do you know what? It's a hell of a shtick to keep to for fucking 25, 30 years or whatever.
Well, this is the thing I kind of feel. That's why I feel he probably is. He does believe in it, but I don't know.
Maybe he didn't at the start, and now he does. Do you know what I mean? If you keep telling yourself something,
eventually you'll start to believe it.
Hey, but this isn't a David Icke podcast.
It certainly isn't.
That's not something that we have yet announced, but it is coming.
That's our backdoor pilot. So let us know how that goes. Back to the royal family then. This one's going to be a bit more royal. Prince Harry, Chris.
Prince Harry.
Yeah, this is from Cosmopolitan. Yeah. Prince Harry responds to decades-old claim that King Charles III, I'll give you a second if you want to get any more in, isn't his real father.
Right.
Chasm for it is going to be my one there. Probably doesn't work, don't care. Princess Harry's paternity has been under intense speculation almost since the day he was born.
Mm-hmm.
And now, at the grand age of 38, since 2023, this article, he has addressed directly the rumour that King Charles III isn't his real father.
You can see it now, can't you?
Book. Yeah, I mean,
he's growing. He's looking a lot like him now, and he's losing his hair and stuff as well, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I will say, I think he inherited more of his mother's side of the family's look
than his brother did.
Because you look at her brother, and he's got that kind of colour hair as well, and what have you. So, yeah, I think he looks
basic genetics.
Yes. And that's the side you want to kind of inherit the looks from, isn't it, really, if we're being honest with ourselves? No disrespect, Your Majesty. No. We can't all be lookers. God knows, I don't know. So, his paternity has been under intense speculation. Yeah, I know we all got through that. To recap, over the years, many people have questioned whether the Duke of Sussex was actually fathered by Princess Diana's former riding instructor, James Hewitt, who I will point out, Chris, was both a cad and a bounder. As the papers put it.
Well, he's certainly not welcome back in the club.
And I'll tell you, if I saw him going into my gentleman's club, I'd have him horsewhipped. The gates outside.
I would have him dragged out by the ear, and I don't know. I can't think of any.
Sir.
Yeah, I would demand satisfaction.
I will teabag you.
Teabag you into the fucking next week, Hewitt.
So
I'll give you so much teabagging, you'll lose your sight.
You'll be in an advert with Johnny Vegas and a monkey. Right. Don't know if that makes sense. Don't care. Commenting on the rumour in his upcoming rumour memoir Spare, or his actually already published rumour Spare.
I'll take you to Yorkshire and get the men there to teabag you. They're made of different stuff. You'll end up with a hairline fracture across the skull and a ball in each eye.
Nice.
Yeah, sorry.
So his memoir, do you reckon that's in the bargain bin yet?
James Hewitt?
No, this is his memoir, Spare.
Oh, Spare. No, I did
we
well,
talked about that a few weeks back, didn't we?
Yeah, to be fair...
it seemed reasonably compelling.
What I don't mind about it, like that, the Netflix thing, because it seemed like a cash grab, but the reason, I think the cash...
Yeah.
But I think a lot of that cash grab, because now he's going after the Murdoch press, because he blames them for his mum's death.
Yeah,
he's going after them, and you need a wedge to be able to do that. And so but now he's got them, because apparently this is what I heard back in the day.
Conspiracy theory.
No, but apparently, I think it's in Spare. I'm not sure, but the royals didn't pursue the press for all of their like phone tapping and all of that kind of stuff because they wanted to keep in favour with them. The royals. Yeah,
the policy was to sort of like keep silent and contain. Yes. I believe is how.
Whereas and he's like, fuck that, like I'm going after him. So that's what he's using the money for. So do you know what? Like, fair play, to be honest.
Well, yeah. Well, if you can get anything over those fuckers, then everyone would have my support. I mean, Dominion just won a pretty tasty. Well, it wasn't. They wouldn't lawsuit, but it was an out of court settlement, wasn't it?
Yeah, 700 million.
Yeah, best part of $1 billion, give or take. Yeah. Anyway, let's have a look. So,
do you know what? It would be really nice if, because the Dominion went after them and they settled out for 700 million or whatever, and then there's the other ones which are going after him as well, the other counting machine people, and they're not giving up. And then Harry's going after him. It'd be really nice because Rupert Murdoch's like 94 now or something stupid. It'd be really nice if, like a week before he died, his empire went bankrupt.
That'd be quite funny, yeah.
Be good, wouldn't it? Yeah.
I'd enjoy a bit of Schadenfreude at that point, yeah.
That is delicious.
Schadenfreude.
It goes down so smooth.
Anyway, Commenting
Yes.
on the rumour in his upcoming memoir, Spare,
Nick.
Harry said, Pa, aka King Charles III, Pa liked telling stories, and this is one of the best in his repertoire. He'd always end up with a burst of philosophising. Who knows if I'm really the Prince of Wales? Who knows if I'm even your real father? And he'd laugh and laugh, though it was a remarkably unfunny joke, given the rumour circulating. And was my natural father was Mummy's former lovers, Major James Hewitt. One cause
He's meant to have said this.
Apparently, Prince Charles used to make jokes about him having, like, who knows if I'm dad.
Who knows if I'm even the Prince of Wales, or even your real father.
Yeah.
And I found it very unfunny because he suggested maybe I was the son of one of Mummy's lovers. My impression of the royals there.
Yeah, one cause of the rumour was Major Hewitt's flaming ginger hair. Another cause was sadism. I don't know if that was Major Hewitt's sadism.
Yeah.
Dinah liked a bit of S&M.
Who doesn't?
Bit of kinky stuff, might as well.
Why not?
Or whether he's accusing his Pa of being sadistic. I don't know.
That's exactly what he is, yeah.
Yeah. So the Duke then rubbishes the rumour, pointing out that logically this cannot be true because Diana didn't meet Major Hewitt until long after he was born.
Don't know that getting away with a good story.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The facts get in the way of a bit of fun. Yeah, he denied the claim to like 20 odd years ago. So, well, I can't be his father because he was like a fucking toddler when we started nodding. I mean, I'm paraphrasing there. He is a cab the bounder, so
yeah.
Don't worry about it, mate. I've been up there.
He was like a fucking toddler when I started rooting her.
So there you have it.
There you have it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Another untrue urban myth. Dismissed.
Out.
Right. So we move on then, and I think this will be our final one.
Neil, do you like the fact that I'm growing my hair a bit? I'm thinking of trying to get a like Wham period George Michael thing going on.
Okay, yeah.
I think
you got a bit of beef on. It's looking quite peppered, actually, Chris. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that, you have it done by the stylist? Yeah.
Well, my cat sometimes licks it, so yeah.
Just need a successful musical career now, don't you? Arguably, the more
you're very much
enviable of George Michael's.
You're very much Andrew Ridgeley. I've kind of just got you in for your looks, so
yeah. My looks and my talent, yeah.
Not your talent,
my charisma.
Your looks, really. Yeah. I mean, Lee said about your charisma, the better. But you do take an insult, so that's good.
Yeah, somebody you can slag off. I mean, to be fair, George Michael, he's all came out of the after he died. He seemed like a really lovely guy. So,
yeah,
I think again we may have mentioned on this podcast, but yeah, good luck to him.
I mean, it's a bit late now. Wish him good luck.
Yeah, well, yes. You know what I mean? That's a shame, but there you go. Talking of which, our beloved Queen of Heart, Princess Di. Mm-hmm. So she passed away. So on the night of 31st
like a candle
of August,
in the wind.
She was like a candle in the wind, like Norma Jean. Something terrible happened. Certainly, Princess Diana was killed in a fatal car crash in Paris, and the effects would be felt around the world.
My mum was quite upset when that happened. I didn't really care because I was like 14, but my mum was quite like. She likes Diana, and I think that some of that was because my mum and her were pregnant at the same time. So,
okay.
Because
did they swap you at birth with Harry?
Wow. No, Harry's younger than me.
Because you look quite a bit like Prince Charles, didn't you? Yeah, talking of looks and charisma, mate. Big shouts to the list.
Yeah, well,
you're quite inbred, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I look like.
And Harry's a bit of rough.
I look like Prince Charles after a nuclear accident.
Yeah,
I haven't quite got his look.
He looks more like he'd come from an Irish family. So yeah.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. Harry's. No, it was
William. Okay,
yeah, because he's like a month older than me, I think.
Oh, okay. So he's only 40. Yeah, that's interesting. No, not at all.
But yeah, so I remember there was a big hoo. What I will say is that there was a big hoo-ha, and I reckon that it could have, because it was the first time the British public, apparently, like this is what I've heard, is like the first time the British public sort of did a big outpouring rather than a sort of stoic stiff upper lip thing, and I think that was the beginning of the end.
Well, I kind of think that's not necessarily fully true, but yeah, there was. I mean, I do remember. Well, I can recall 2 stories from around that time. So I was just going between my first and second year of uni, I think, and I went to. I've been on a holiday to Ireland. So my mum's from Dublin, and so it was like, it said the other day, oh, she'd always wanted to go back to Ireland.
What part of Dublin?
Dolphins Barn.
They've got such weird names here, in Dublin.
I know, yeah.
I've got family in Goatstown. I actually do.
Wow. But yeah, so yeah. So we went off to Dublin. We're coming back, and I just remember so we'd heard there's like an accident. I'm thinking, she's got the world's best doctors, plenty of money, she'll be fine. And then sort of Irish taxi driver drove us to the airport for I think it was a Ryanair flight.
Chuckling along.
Well, no, he was really. This is the thing. He was really respectful.
Irish people are.
Got some terrible. Have you heard the terrible news? And it's like,
have you heard the terrible news?
No, and yeah, Prince Coronation. No, she died, and and so on and so forth. And he was very respectful. But I was kind of like, no, that's a shame. I do think 2 young kids and all the rest of it. I thought, genuinely, I don't know, but all the rest of it. But it's tragic when somebody dies young and leaves some young children. And then we get out the other end, and there's driving down from London, getting out Portslade Station with a taxi driver there. It's like, good news. Silly cow. And mind you, he wants kicking up the arse, marrying some ugly old boot like
that. Hey, Portslade. Are you glad that you got out of Portslade? Because the only real options are to work down the docks there, aren't they? Or in the Tesco's.
I did work in the Sainsbury's, although that's West Hove, of course.
Yeah.
Because it's got ideas about its station.
West Hove.
I love how they cut out any parts of Portslade that are in any way. Like there was a Porsche showroom, and I thought, well, that's West Hove. This is my conspiracy theory about Portslade. Any of the parts that are, in any way slightly posh, they renamed West Hove.
Well, and ironically,
Hove
used to be the rough bit that people in Brighton didn't want to say that their house was in Hove because Hove
getting fucking ideas above their station.
Hove was
knocking about for about 100 years.
Well, no, Hove was it was a smuggler's town back centuries, and it was known as being pretty lawless. So when they started building from Brighton, it started to sort of connect with Hove. They would call it the West Brighton estate and stuff like that. Where Palmyra Square is.
Portslade goes back to the Doomsday Book. Have you noticed?
Does it?
There's a really ancient church in there, and there's 2 nice parts. There's an ancient church, and then there's the old village. Anyway,
a little bit of local knowledge for our fans in India there.
Why do they keep talking about Portslade? Should I go? No. Don't ever go to Portslade, listeners.
Tell you what, right? There's our episode about the Befana, the Italian Christmas witch, keeps getting listened to by people in India because they've got a crime TV show called it's really close to Befana. I can't remember its exact name.
Oh no! So is it just really disappointing for them?
They
keep turning up. They're oh fucking hell.
They're like, a podcast.
I'll give it a go.
A podcast about my favourite TV show, and it's like, hello, I am. I am Chimney Sweepers. This is about a Christmas witch. It's quite amusing. All counts. And weirdly, the Cumbergs UFO, the Turkish UFO one, has had a spike in listens in the greater New York area over the last 2 weeks.
Oh.
Make of it what you will.
Well, welcome any New York fans.
Yeah, welcome any new listeners.
Yes, from wherever you may be.
Give us a like or subscribe or some shit.
Yeah, that'd be nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it'd be nice of you. On this special weekend.
Coronation weekend, yeah.
Which unfortunately we're not allowed to enjoy.
No, well,
There
we can enjoy it in our hearts, Chris.
It's for the best, Neil. I don't know what I'd do.
Well, I don't know what I'd do. Yeah, I don't know what I'd do.
Nature, nurture.
Yeah, it might just kick off. Yeah, and the other one I remember, it was like you were saying, just the whole, because, watching with like flatmates at uni and just kind of like thinking, fucking hell, I don't recognise this at all. Everyone, losing their minds, and, loads of flowers outside.
Yeah.
Was it Buck Palace they were doing all the flowers? I really can't remember. Yeah. And then the Queen had to actually pretend to have feelings for once, bless her, which was uncomfortable.
Well, I don't know. What goes on in people's heads? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's
but that's the thing is, like, when people got a bit like,
pretty strange life, isn't it?
Be more performative in your grief for us. It's like, no, probably fuck off with that kind of comment. You don't know. People, process this shit differently. So I don't know. I find it really weird when people make emotional demands of strangers. Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
like,
it's fucking bizarre.
Up.
Yeah. Why is how you're dealing with it better than how they're dealing with it?
Yeah.
We're all. It's just fucking weird. Like the whole thing. Like,
there's a lot of reasons to be kind of like, to not be massively pro the royal family if you want, but yeah, that's not.
Well, I would say the main reason to be pro the royal family is President Johnson.
People will say this, but I mean,
I wouldn't want to be a republic. I'd happily continue being a parliamentary democracy, but without a head of state.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? I mean, people say we have to have a head of state.
Problem with republics, every single one, as far as I can tell, throughout history, you've ended up with a dictator in charge. Every single one.
There you go.
Every single one. So I don't think that's
monarchy by definition is kind of anyway. I don't really care that much, to be honest with you. I'm a mild Republican, but I don't really give a shit.
Yeah, I'm agnostic on it.
Yeah. Anyway, so Princess Diana dying in a car crash. It should be a barrel of fucking laughs, Chris.
Here we go.
So for some people,
phasers to fun.
Hey! Died at the peak of your, whatever. This is going to turn like I'm going to have a bit back screening. Well, we tried to do one on Robert Johnson once, and both just got really depressed. Like the whole thing. We didn't publish it because it was just we may go back there at some point and try and do it again. But we were in a sort of mood or whatever at the time. We're just like, this isn't working.
No,
let's not release this for various reasons.
No, Jim Crow, Southern, Mississippi, not barrel, not a lot to get laughs out of. Yeah, really.
Yeah, not a lot of material for the Chuckle Hut. But this is fine because this is about two grieving toddler stuff.
This is about a young single mother dying in a car crash.
Hey, so yada yada yada. Lots of conspiracy theories. So these conspiracies are so convincing and widespread, helped by the Daily Express, as we've already, and Mohammed Al-Fayed himself. The Met Police had to launch Operation Paget, an inquiry to establish whether there was any truth in the theories, which lasted years and cost millions of pounds. So that's got to be a first for our conspiracies or urban legends, isn't it?
What, that is?
Well, the police had to investigate and spend millions of pounds. I say had to. But it turns out it was all an unfortunate accident.
Yeah. I mean, like, considering they're probably quite glad to have that kind of distraction now that all the stuff's coming out about the Met Police, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Probably like, oh, we're, Diana, brilliant. All right, let's just look at that.
Let's concentrate on that, yeah.
Not racial profiling or the fact
not look
that
within
a load of our officers are rapists.
Yeah. Not good. 175 theories about what happened that night, apparently. But anyway, let's run through a few. So, was Diana pregnant, Chris? But according to Mohammed Al-Fayed, this was the reason for the killing, because she became pregnant with his son's child, and the idea was unpalatable to the British state.
So again, whatever you think of Mohammed Al-Fayed, I
do believe he truly was grieving for his son, in fairness.
I'm not to be too harsh on him, because at the end of the day, he's a grieving father. Do you know what I mean? Because his son died as well. No one really talks about that.
100%. I do not like the man for various reasons, but that's not. We don't think that people's relatives dying is amusing or anything like that.
Well, do you know what? I just kind of wonder how many batshit stories you'd have if everyone's expressions of grief were done in a public realm. Do you know what I mean?
And all focused on the other person. Yeah. having said that, there was no sign of pregnancy during the post-mortem.
No, took the baby.
Nothing in the blood either. So, it's Charles was a vampire when they say probably drank its blood to fuel his reptile powers.
I thought that they took the baby, raised him, and changed his name to Richie Sunak. That's what I heard.
Oh, yeah, again, like the Omen.
Mm-hmm.
I
mean, they say that Richie Sunak's in his 40s, but he's actually only 15.
He looks about 12. Yeah, look at him, he's dressing in his little adult suit. He's like me when I played Bill
with his little shiny
on
buckles on and his
my dad's coat and started trying to pretend I was like, an adult. That's what he looks like. Don't get me started on...
Hello, Mother, I'm back from work.
So here's my friend Reese Mogg in his double-breasted suit. Double-breasted suit. Yeah. Looks like an adult as well. I think Reese Mogg is actually two smug wanker kids dressed in, standing on each other's shoulders. That's my conspiracy.
I think it's two Xennials.
Two insufferable children.
I think it's two Xennials, owning the break.
Yeah, just mocking the establishment.
Seriously, it's all going to be released on TikTok.
At what point do you stop sort of like supporting what a shit coming out of this guy's mouth? Anyway, so she believes you're going to be killed by the establishment.
I think Reese Mogg was made in a lab and based on Vic and Bob's MasterChef Lloyd's Grossman.
Yes.
If you haven't ever heard of Vic and Bob, they're two English comedians. If you look up a sketch called MasterChef, then you'll probably laugh if you're listening.
Or it will make absolutely no fucking sense to me whatsoever because you have no idea who Lloyd Grossman is, what MasterChef is, or
MasterChef's global.
It is now, not the original version.
No,
because he had this kind of he was a little portentous American.
He was from New England.
He spoke
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great sketch though, but I don't know how much sense. Anyway, it's fine. You can probably have a bit of fun with it.
Funny.
Yeah. Diana herself thought she was going to get killed. That is true. So there's a letter from Paul Burrell, a lovely butler.
Ugh.
He was an honest fellow, wasn't he?
Very honest.
Shame he got found with a few too many of her belongings, but there you go.
Oh no!
One easily forgets. I was just looking after it.
I can't seem to find the silver.
Unique retirement plan there.
My mother bought me this tiara.
Yeah. Family heirloom. Diana wanted me to have it.
This Givenchy dress I'm wearing was handed down from my grandmama.
So I'm sitting here at my desk. Actually, no, we won't go through that. So she thought we were going to try and take her out. Planning an accident in her car.
According to Paul Burrell.
So, he had a letter. Whether or not, I don't know if they've examined it, if it was in her handwriting or what have you, but supposedly it is authentic. Okay. And it appears eerily prescient. And when she wrote the letter, she had experience with her car, had voiced fears about them, and her bodyguard had died in an accident that she believed had been a conspiracy. So there you go.
That feeds the conspiracy.
Feeds the fire, doesn't it? Yeah. So she did believe that they were going to come after her. The paparazzi made the car crash intentionally, so they were blamed quite a bit, weren't they, for her death?
Yeah. They were culpable.
Yes, I think
and the driver.
The driver being fucking liquored up. That probably didn't help a lot. I mean, that's the thing that's kind of like, because there's two here and they're kind of related.
There's a drunk driver and they were going over the speed limit, so they're being chased by paparazzi.
Yeah, because it's got here as well. Driver Henry Paul intentionally caused the crash, so. They do.
By drinking a bottle of Bells before we got I won't call it intentional. I've got a problem.
You're head of security at the Ritz, and it's I'm going to be driving, Diana home. I'll probably polish up this.
Or have a couple of cheeky straighteners. Make sure I'm driving right. I drive better after a few.
Yeah, I drive better after a few. I've met people like that. Oh, God.
that is. How he got to.
It's a reasonably prestigious establishment.
How he climbed the ranks so much with that kind of work ethic is just unbelievable.
Yeah, that's good. Well, hate the player, not the cat. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. That's very odd. Yeah, and so people who believe it was all a lie, they reckon they swapped his body with another person, so the toxicology reports would show alcohol in the system. I mean, I would have thought it'd be easy to just fake the toxicology test rather than like a homeless drunk body or whatever. Hang on a minute, this looks nothing like the guy who was supposed to be doing an autopsy.
This is like
Don't worry
Captain
about that,
Fantacle.
darling. Don't worry about that, darling. You just don't test those alcohol levels, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, it's much easier just to fake the results than yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't suppose you can just inject alcohol into the blood or whatever post mortem, but I'm sure you can mess with toxicology results.
No, not everyone's an analyst like us. They can't necessarily cut through the bullshit. They come up.
I just love that. Though. That's a real kind of Sherlock consolation. Well, as you will have seen here, the body was clearly swapped, as you'll see by these scuff marks on the mortician's shoe.
This shiny button actually suggests that this man fought in the Crimea War.
Yeah, so this autopsy doctor is left-handed, as we all know. Left-handed people are wrong. I immediately raised my suspicion.
Left-handed people are much more susceptible to
invariably criminals. Yeah,
invariably susceptible to corruption. I say, Holmes, that's brilliant.
Top-class seduction.
How do you do it?
Another one cracked. Do you think that was just Sherlock Holmes' whole thing? You just yeah,
that's right. I did it.
Put it on the nearest port.
I've always been into corruption ever since I found out I was left-handed. The church, the nuns at the school told me I was evil because I was left-handed. Tried to make me right with my right hand. I knew then it was a life of corruption for me.
His cases do rely on a lot of circumstantial evidence that's quite outlandish, though.
That's what they had back then.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, fair enough. And he's a fictional character.
I mean, the fact that he had evidence and didn't just grab the nearest Irishman was, quite.
I mean, well, you say that, but that was a tactic that worked for them well up to the 80s, Chris. So
yes, 90s, I'd say. Yeah,
yeah, entirely put. Yeah, fair enough. Yada. But anyway, numerous tests showed alcohol in it. Was there something wrong with the car? That's quite a boring one. Don't care
move
about
on. That. I heard enough about Dinah now. Move on to the next one, if there is any.
Any
more fun ones?
Yeah, let's find another fun one. That one. Yeah, that one's not really a lot of fun.
It was important we spoke about.
It was an important one, and I think we had to get into it. But yeah,
as journalists, it was important that we addressed the elephant in the room. But as entertainers, we should leave on a laugh.
Yeah, let's try and please, ladies and gentlemen, with a good one. Kind of wishing I hadn't used that Prince Charles as a vampire one first now.
That's all right.
Well, Kate and Meghan are feuding. I don't think that's a conspiracy. I think that's pretty well known, isn't it? They can't stand each other by the looks of things. That's really
got two alphas rucking.
Oh,
whoa!
Shattering their horns.
Tell you what, I wouldn't mind seeing that. Whoa. Shame we're not editing this episode.
Cut a good hour out of it, I would imagine. No, we'll leave that one out. About Jack the Ripper. Oh, here you go. This is incredibly stupid. Kate Middleton is secretly feuding with Beyonce.
Oh,
should be good.
Yeah.
So according to Mashable, because the royal family announced Kate's third pregnancy on Beyonce's birthday, there were rumours of a feud.
There he goes.
Although it seems unlikely that Beyonce is upset with the British royal family or vice versa, the internet is convinced. That's just the internet being morons. That's not
and also they're all meant to be part.
Or being ironic.
Well, Beyonce and Jay-Z are meant to be part of the Illuminati as well, aren't they? So it seems unlikely that they're falling over that.
He's made plenty of bank, hasn't he? Fair play to him. He's proper money.
Very well off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. We have another one. The Queen is a Satanist cannibal.
That'll do.
Yeah, that'll take us out for the break. As the Richards revealed, the strange theory about the Queen and Prince Philip stems from the fact that children appear to go missing whenever they're near. Prince
Philip is able to dislocate his jaw.
Case in point, when quote unquote scores of Canadian children went missing, this coincided with Her Majesty and the Duke of Edinburgh making a trip to Canada. I mean, I'd say that's a classic case of correlation, not causation. But,
I'd say I call that grocery shopping.
Yeah. So there we go, Chris. There we go. There's a bit of fun to see us out.
Okay.
I can find more of them. There's stuff like Megan's a Robot. They're part of the Bilderberg group.
Yeah, robot one.
Do you want the Megan's a Robot?
Let's just quick fire through a couple of few.
Duke of Kent might have been a Nazi. Oh no, that's family history, not conspiracy theory. Karen and Meg's wedding is a part of a plot to gain control over America. That's another silly.
Yes, I heard that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Where is the robot one? Where's the robot one? To be honest, I read about this and I think it was just basically, again, just the internet being hilarious. Yeah. It's literally that. Somebody tweeted.
Right. I mean, I've heard a lot more in-depth conspiracies than that. Do you know what? Like, you wouldn't get Ike bringing out.
Oh, and they had to tell 32 of these fucking things. I mean, you could have written a themed book.
They didn't have to. Did they?
They chose to.
They could have done 10 good ones.
Yeah, they could have done some journalism. But
although, according to numerology, number 32 is very significant at a time of great calamity and change. So
yeah, and it's 23 backwards, which is also an important number according to a lot of people. So there you go.
It is indeed. It's a prime number. So, all right, Neil. So you had a new scoring system just for.
I do have a new. We do a fancy one just for this app.
Right.
I can't remember what it is, Chris. So I'm going to have to look in my emails and find it. So, if you want to sing "God Save the King" while I'm doing that,
no, thank you. I've got it here.
You're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance?
No, I've got it here. Oh, do you want to?
Here we go.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to go regalness. Keep calm and 10. Yeah, agreed. 10.
So sorry, what are we scoring?
Well, you went straight into the 10 there. So, just overall,
what, the coronation?
The coronation, the conspiracy theories,
all of it,
all of it, just all the majesty of the whole, the
holistic view. Okay,
true or untrue? How do we, so regalness? That's got to be a 10, isn't it?
10, definitely, yeah.
The royalist of families. Keep calm and carry on. So, how many royal families do you know with?
10, isn't it?
Get through all of this. Yeah, it's got to be a 10 as well.
Well, I would just a little interesting thing about Keep Calm and Carry On, like the posters and all of that jazz. They were never actually used.
Never released. No, it was just
never released because they were going to release them, but then they realised that people were.
Then we gave the hum what to.
No, but then people were calm and carrying on, so they didn't need to, and so it was just released as sort of like
we just chilled shit anyway.
Britannia.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, we started getting into pulp and that.
Yeah, exactly.
Worrying about whether or not Blur or Oasis were going to be top of the chart, whether the house was going to get bombed.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be those lovely northern lads or those cheeky cockneys. As nobody said.
As no one ever said.
Home counties, boys. Alex James has turned into a bit of a wanker, hasn't he? Anyway.
Turned into?
Yeah, good point. Good point. Right, third category.
Okay.
Best monarchy in the world.
Well, that's a 10. They were obviously the best monarchy in the world. Yeah. Best known.
How many of your roles are lizards? How many of your roles have got 32 conspiracy theories written about them by American publications?
Got the best.
None. That's that many.
Got the best crown jewels because they took them from the other royals.
Yeah, stole them. Yeah.
Yeah, but whatever.
Does any player would?
Yeah, but exactly. But this is the thing. You got they're like 50 Cent and his Xbox and his business advice.
Yeah.
They take what they want. Like the reason why when you buy a house you have to get like a freehold is so that you're leasing the land from the royal family because they literally own everything in law. Do you know what I mean? How do they do that? By being fucking hard. Yeah. Kicking people in.
It's grinding it.
Well, they were Vikings, weren't they? Originally. The Normans were Vikings, weren't they? So they weren't Franchies, they were Vikings.
And finally, Pledge of Allegiance.
Do you want me to give you a pledge of
allegiance?
No,
you don't have to, but just,
Okay, so this is a story where they are replacing part of the ceremony where what it used to be was that noble people, so noble men and women and knights and shit, were invited to pledge their allegiance to the new king. They've reworded
Well, I don't get to.
Yeah, exactly. So they've reworded
It's because I ain't got a castle.
They've reworded it so that the people can pledge allegiance to the king. So they were trying to make it right, so it's inclusive.
Isn't it? That's what they were trying to do. All these,
but obviously,
Gen Zers and whatnot.
People have just gone nuts about it. They go, "What? I have to pledge allegiance to a king?" And it's like, well, no, you don't. But anyway, it's just become like some big issue. But it's just bullshit. But I'll be giving my pledge of allegiance. So 10.
That's 10 for me as well, Chris.
Well,
so I think this is going to be quite a high scoring one.
Yeah, I think so.
I've not totted those up, but
we're trying to get on the Dutchy Original Podcast Network, aren't we?
Yeah, and also we want to get certification from the king, whatever that.
Want to get a royal stamp
on our tin, on our podcast tin.
We want to be podcast. We want to be the podcasters of urban legends by royal appointment.
Yes.
So
since 2023.
Yeah. So I might. Yeah. So keep an eye on the cover art for next series.
Yeah.
It might have by royal appointment.
It may have an emblem on it. You never know.
Okay, so that gives us an overall score of. Can you guess, Neil?
80 points, Chris.
80.
That's not bad, is it?
80 regal points. Wonderful stuff.
What else could it be?
So, what I'll just say, give us a like, a subscribe, or leave a comment, and all that jazz. If you can be bothered, we'd really appreciate it, because we get nout like that, and we know people are listening. So I don't know what's wrong with you lot.
Yes, come on. Cost you nothing.
Cost you nothing, and it would really make a couple of little urchins' days.
Bring a tear to these miserable middle-aged fuckers' eyes.
Speak for yourself. I'm not middle-aged. I mean, technically, I am. But yeah, so I mean, and if you're looking from the outside, like going, what the fuck is all this about? To be honest, we're kind of looking from inside, wondering that as well. So you're not alone.
Let's not question it. Let's not question it.
Yeah, none of us watch TV anymore, so it will just pass by, and I won't know about it.
Yeah.
But if you are watching or involved in Coronation stuff this weekend, I know you listen.
Your Majesty.
Chazzy
Jeff. Yeah.
Chazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
Have
a good day, whatever you're doing. Enjoy the bank holiday. If you're not of this realm, then hope you have a nice time, whatever you're doing. And we'll be back with...
Just enjoy a long weekend off.
And we'll be back with a more conventional episode next week.
Indeed we will.
It'll be something about like a robot monkey or something that haunts people's dreams in Kenya.
Yeah, or some tedious Reddit story.
Yeah, some tedious Reddit story about, I don't know, like a cat.
A haunted mouse cursor or something.
Yeah, a haunted mouse cursor. Yeah, get into the creepy.
A racist Pokemon meme that turns to Tanek or something. Yeah.
Yeah, Peppy the frog that came to life. Cool. All right. Well, have a nice one, everyone, and we'll see you same time next week. And goodbye. He's just come up with playing music ? On Zoom. See you later, everyone. Bye.
Goodbye.
Antennae. Server. USB. Wi-Fi. Chip and pin. Mini-disc.